What's up everyone, Danny Lightning back with another microphone review. Today we're doing a very honest review on the Neumann BCM104. Now this microphone has a built-in shock mount, it has a built-in pop filter, and this microphone was designed for speech. It was really made for radio broadcast, but you can do voiceovers with it, you can sing into it, you can record your instrument, you can mic your guitar cabinets, and this thing sounds good. It has a very flat EQ curve. It's got a very small boost on the high end, not like the TLM103, which has a super high end boost that gets really sibilant and can be very, very bright. So the TLM103 is probably Neumann's most popular microphone, but in my opinion, this is a better choice due to all those things I just mentioned. I know a lot of people who went out and bought a TLM103 and returned it because their voice is a little higher pitched or it got really sibilant. So when you say silly cells, seashells, silly cells, seashells, and let's check the pulses. Like I said, this thing has a built-in pop filter. So Peter Piper, 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 Peter Piper. No matter how hard I try, it's very hard to get this thing to have a pulsive. But there's just this little screen in there. A little later in the video, we will take the top off and let you see it. But yeah, there's a little screen in there that stops the pops. And it works better than most pop filters I've ever used that are built into a microphone at least. This microphone showed up at my house a couple of weeks ago. It came from a store called Sweetwater. Sweetwater is a great place to buy a microphone. They're going to give you a 2-year warranty on anything in case you have any problems. And I actually thought I was going to have to send this back, but Sweetwater fixed me up and we are keeping this baby. You know you're not getting a fake when buying something over at Sweetwater. Let's go ahead and test the built-in shock mount. You can see it right here. It's this big piece of rubber. So let's tap on the desk. Let's see if you're hearing any resonating coming through the desk. Let's tap on the boom arm. Are you hearing resonating frequencies coming through the boom arm? Let's go ahead and tap right onto the microphone. I mean, of course, you're going to hear some noise, but you're listening for like a boing, boing, like a ringing, just a nasty ringing. Now, I'm recording this in a semi-treated room, so remember, it is going to be picking up a little bit more reverb than, you know, somebody in a fully treated room. It's going to pick up my keyboard a little bit. So this microphone is very sensitive. It does pick up a little bit more reverb than some of my other condenser microphones. And it does pick up my mouse clicking. Like right now, I'm clicking my mouse. I'm not really sure if you can hear it. Let's do a keyboard test. So right now I'm clacking on my keyboard. And you're probably hearing it pick that keyboard up a little bit. But it does pick that stuff up slightly more than most of my other microphones. But this is a very detailed condenser, so it's probably going to do that type of thing. So in my opinion, this sounds very close to a U87. All right, I think the sound signature, the flatness, the EQ curve of this sounds very, very similar to a U87. I still think a Neumann U87 sounds a little bit better than this microphone, but I do feel like this sounds better than like the TLM102s or TLM103s. But that's my personal opinion. I feel like the bass is a little more controlled, a little tighter, a little smoother. I feel like the high end is where it needs to be. It's just about right. It's got some very slight boost. I think it's got a little teeny 1 decibel boost around 4K and maybe like a 2 decibel boost around 12 or something like that. I'll go ahead and pull up a little a frequency response chart so you can actually see that here compared to like a TLM103. Which has a huge boost. So let's get both of those up on the screen right now. All right, so the top one is going to be the TLM103. You can see how big the boost on the high end is on the 103. And the bottom one is going to be the BCM104, which is almost a flat microphone. Flat's kind of what you want. So the TLM103 has about a 5 or a 6 decibel boost on the high end. And the BCM104's only got about a 2 decibel boost on the high end, right in the frequencies where you want it. So where like the 103 has got the boost in the very sibilant frequencies. Personally, I think this is a much better microphone for your average person, especially for somebody who is sibilant or has a very high-pitched voice. I would rather have to EQ the highs and add a little bit of high end in than have to try and EQ some highs out, right? It's easier to add something with EQ than to remove something with EQ and get it right. So I would prefer a 100% completely flat microphone. The U87 kind of has a leg up on this because the 87 is almost completely flat to where this one's still not quite, but pretty darn close. So I think they sound very similar. Now I've actually worked with all three. And I feel that the U87 does sound just a little bit better. It's a little bit smoother, a little more creamy sounding. slightly more flat, but this is a really nice sounding microphone in my opinion. All right, I can't find the video that I was looking for, but this is a sound clip of a professional voice actor speaking into this microphone, so you can hear that, and this thing sounds good.
So I've been falling in love with the BCM104 all over again. This microphone has such a beautiful mid-range on it.
Now, I can't play too much of his clip or we're definitely going to get a copyright on this thing, but this is Mark over at the Microphone Assassin YouTube channel. He is a professional voice actor and he has one of the best sounding voices I've ever heard. He just sounds so smooth and so good. And that was him talking into the BCM104. I know somewhere on his channel he has a clip of him talking into this and a Neumann U87, and he's also got a bunch of clips of him comparing this microphone to other microphones on his channel as well. So there's a lot of good stuff over there on the Microphone Assassin channel. I must say, he is a much better voice actor than I am. So yeah, very smooth, very awesome voice, and he absolutely loves this thing, and so do I. All right, so let's go ahead and test the off-axis noise rejection. So we are going to go ahead and just start turning this microphone around and see how it sounds as we turn it. So let's go. Now we're almost all the way around to the back, so the microphone is now 100% backwards. Now it's over to the other side, so check 1, 2. Let's go and turn it back around this way, and we are turning the microphone all around, kind of like The Exorcist, where the thing has its head spinning around. I'm just glad there's not a bunch of like vomit spraying me in the face, because that would be horrible. And this is basically how it sounds when it's facing me right in the face. Whatever that means, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and test the proximity effect of this microphone. So we're going to back it up. So the microphone is now an arm's length away. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. The microphone is now an arm's length away. And holy crap, it's coming right at me. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. We are now bringing the microphone in a little bit closer. We are probably about 6 to 7 inches away right now. So this is how it sounds about 6 to 7 inches away. This is how the microphone sounds around 5 to 6 inches away. And let's go ahead and bring it in until we get it about a hand length. So that is how it sounds when it's about a hand length away from your mouth. And if you really want to get that proximity effect going, now we are right up on top of this bad boy. We're going to go ahead and talk kind of quiet because we're right up on top of it. And we don't want to be so much on top of it that it makes us sound like Johnny Cash. All right, so that's pretty much the deal right there with the proximity effect on this microphone. I like to bring this microphone in so it's about 4 inches in front of my face. So 4 to 5 inches is pretty much the sweet spot, maybe 6 inches, but yeah. Anyways, Neumann BCM104. Awesome, awesome, awesome microphone. Lots of amazing features, and it costs the same price as the TLM103. But when you're buying the TLM103, you got to buy the shock mount for an additional, what is it, $200 or $300 for the shock mount. It doesn't come with the built-in pop filter. Now, I don't own a TLM103, but I do have a recording of a sound clip of a TLM103 that I took over at my buddy's house. So let's go ahead and play that really quick so you can hear what the TLM103 sounds like compared to this guy right here. So this is the Neumann BCM104. We are currently speaking on to the Neumann BCM104, and let's switch over to the next microphone. Today we are talking into the front of a Neumann TLM103 condenser microphone. I am currently about 5 to 6 inches away from the front of it. That's where a condenser is supposed to sound the most natural, and this is the way it sounds. This microphone belongs to a friend of mine. I'm lucky enough to get to do a voice recording on it, but this is the Neumann TLM103 condenser microphone, and this is the way it sounds. So let's go ahead and switch on over to the next microphone. Now I'm back on the Neumann BCM104. In just a second, I'll add a little bit of EQ so you can see what this sounds like with a boosted high end. And you'll notice it does sound a lot more similar to the 103. The 103 definitely is a brighter microphone with a lot more high end. So now we're going to go ahead and boost the high end on the BCM104. So guys and gals, this is what the BCM104 sounds like when you boost the high end up. A lot of people do like that nice creamy, rich high end, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and do a little boost on the high end. And now we're going to go ahead and move back to flat, the way the microphone is, with no EQ whatsoever. Now, do keep in mind, these were definitely recorded on different days, so each person's voice will sound a little different from day to day, and they were recorded in slightly different rooms, so there is that as well, but that's just something to keep in mind. Now, this microphone does have some switches, so it's got a pad and it's got a bass cutoff, so a high pass filter. But the crazy thing is there's a little screw right about here, and you have to take that screw out, and you actually grab a hold of the connector here, and pull it out, and you'll see this little circuit board pull out that's got 2 switches on it. I know a lot of people are not going to be comfortable pulling that out of there to get to the switches. So when you get it, these switches are not engaged, so it should come in the flat mode, so the pad is not turned on, and you're getting the full range of sound. But you can cut off the low end, I think at, I don't know if it's 50 hertz or 80 hertz. Let me look that up really quick. All right, so the first switch will cut off the low end at 100 hertz. And that's a little bit of an aggressive cutoff. I normally like to put it around 60 or 70 hertz, sometimes down to 50 depending on the voice. But it does have a 100 hertz cutoff. If you want, you always want to cut off some of the bass. You can always do that later with an EQ if you want, which is what I normally do. I don't really like to set the microphones up because I want to get the full recording. Once you change something, it's in the recording and you're not going to be able to get it out. To where if you don't change anything, you can always do it later when you're editing. And then, you know, that's always undoable. But when you record with something, you cannot undo it once it's recorded into the recording. So, yeah. All right, so let's go and take the top off. We're going to let you see the pop filter underneath the microphone. There's just a little thing back here somewhere that you press. Let me see if I can find it. And you just simply screw this off. Be very, very careful doing this, right? It's really simple, but you never want to touch the capsule. You never, ever want to touch the capsule of the microphone. All right, so this is what it looks like when you pull the top off right here. It just screws off really easy, only takes a couple of seconds. Now, you probably are hearing a humming because this basically works as a Faraday cage. Yeah, you can see the pop filter right here. And that thing is really, really good at stopping the plosives from happening. So this is a really awesome deal. If you ever take this off, this comes off for cleaning and stuff like that, but never, ever touch the capsule of the microphone with your fingers, or you might ruin it. So be very, very careful never to touch the capsule if you do take this off. Now to put it back on, I just go ahead and put this up here, get it lined up a little bit. And then it just clicks right back in place. Very, very easy, very, very simple, but it will make a humming sound once you remove that, because like I said, it works kind of like a Faraday cage. Now we're going to go ahead and compare this microphone to the Lauten LS208 and the Rode NT1 Signature Series, or the 5th generation, whatever you want to call it. They're basically the same exact microphone, only the 5th generation has USB, the Signature Series is only XLR, but yeah. We're going to compare these microphones real quick. I am speaking right into the front of the Neumann BCM104 broadcast condenser microphone. I'm about 4 inches off, and this is the way it sounds, so let's go ahead and switch over to the next microphone. I am currently speaking right into the front of the Lauten LS208. This is a condenser microphone that's designed to pick up less room noise and reverb, more like a dynamic microphone. It's designed to be just a couple inches from your face and used more like a dynamic. This is a very interesting microphone. It's about half the price of the Neumann, and it does sound really, really good. So this is the way the Lauten sounds, and let's switch back to the Neumann for a second, and then we'll go check out the Rode NT1. I am speaking right into the front of the Neumann BCM104 broadcast condenser microphone. I'm about 4 inches off, and this is the way it sounds, so let's go ahead and switch over to the next microphone. Now I'm speaking right into the front of the Rode NT1. You can get the Signature Series for about $160, or the Rode NT1 5th generation for about $260. This is a very good, cheap microphone that sounds almost as good as the high-level, more expensive microphone. So this is the Rode NT1, and let's switch back to the Neumann. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is definitely a grade A, top-notch, super good sounding microphone. I absolutely love this thing, and there's going to be a link to this microphone and a bunch of other stuff in the video's description, so you might want to check that out. If you click on my Amazon affiliate link, it'll take you to a list of all the stuff that I recommend. There's a bunch of inexpensive stuff and a bunch of stuff that goes to crazy expensive prices. So there's something for everybody in there, including this microphone and the other ones you just saw in this video. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this content, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We would appreciate that a lot. Thank you guys so much. Lightning out. Have a great day. Catch you later. See ya.